Once again, we are being drawn back into Gintama, and there's no escaping it, no matter how hard we struggle. So I guess the best thing we can do is prepare ourselves for whatever may be, and hope that whatever we see tonight isn't going to scar us forever. Get a drink. Let's delve right in. I don't actually remember much at all. If at all it did actually show anything for the preview of this episode. It's been longer than it usually is that I watched Gintama. Honestly, I think after all of the recent exposure to Elizabeth and Katsura, we're not going to see much of them for a while, which is kind of upsetting, but deserved. And we haven't seen anything from the missing member of the trio. He's still out gallivanting around space with his bandaged eye. I don't think I've ever had too much to drink where I've actually not been able to remember anything. I'm surprised Gintama is still running after everything that they've encountered and done. Well, that's kind of ruined the mood. He makes a good point. So, hopefully that isn't foreshadowing for the rest of the episode. What is his choice of music? Did he record that himself? He's a bit of a lightweight, apparently. Much like several other characters. Why is Hasegawa there? They'll pay for it themselves. Oh, he's so precious. He has a job. Gotta find the positives in life. Well, that party was over quickly. Hopefully he's not waking up next to Hasegawa. Could be worse. As long as it's not Shinpachi or Otasei or anything. I'm not sure I get the reference with the ski jumping, but other than just the imagery right there. This is a bit early to figure out what's been going on. He's Okay. Just make sure to double check. You know, could have. Could have been worse. Do you think he still has to pay rent? Apparently, last night was quite eventful. I wonder. I wonder if they're actively trying to push to see what gets them cancelled quicker. Depending on how much he had to drink, yeah, it's entirely possible. I just hope that Hasegawa is doing well in his new position. Sure, it's only to pay off bills, but it's a start. How much more like contents of his stomach can he get up? That is some good advice there, Shinpachi. Uh, Being a robot and not really drinking unless she gets affected by oil or anything, I think Tama would actually have quite a good memory of what happened. I'm sure she was just calling Kentucky a dumpster, but got some extra cleaning for you to do. How much of the limited funds has he just eaten through? Ah, okay. But we saw two there at least. She actually acknowledged Hasegawa. The ninjas. It is getting better. We all love. I've actually forgotten her name. But she can't hold a drink anyway. Let's hope nothing else. Nothing else went to ruin his night. It's like the quest in was it Skyrim where you get drunk, don't remember your night, and end up like getting married to a hag raven. And this is Gintama, so knock that up a few notches, and you might have the story of what actually occurred. Oh no! She's more upset at the fact that he doesn't remember. I mean, she knows Gintoki, so really that surprised? But also, I'm guessing that's a leading statement to make us think that there's something. the fear starts setting in. And this is just going to compound problems, isn't it? You're not going to get off lightly. Oh, they're all out to greet him. Oh no. Greeting him like a brother. Out of pure joy, I hope. Yeah, she looks good. And also, the fact that Yugen's not providing any ammunition or anything. Then he has given his blessing as well. It's a good save, but... At least he didn't aim for Gintoki, so... Let this be a lesson to all of you. Drink in moderation. Or be prepared for the consequences. Quite the hefty bill. Worth it? He seems fine. Oh no. He has a good outlook. Are you sure about that? Also, how's he getting on with the hemorrhoid creams? Okay. Wow, 10 minutes. So there is no... At least it's showing him as to have some sort of endurance. Still not shining with happiness, though. Oh, 20. I don't understand how people could play Uno that many times in one day. Maybe it's... DOS. I mean, it's really trying to push a certain narrative at the minute. And you thought that Gintoki was a man to look up to. However, hopefully they're not all just kind of sitting around and hearing him have these conversations with all of the others. I wonder how Hasegawa's going to take it. I mean, he's only just found a job. Yeah, I don't think that one was going to go well. Yep. Straight, she knows her priorities. Not going to drop that 200 million. Oh, I love it. Out of all of their reactions, which did you like best? I know that Gintama has had several references to other shows and stories, but and live his life with 6 families at once. You're taking things a bit fast, don't you think? And after some of, like... Oh, he's got to live with them. After seeing and knowing Gintoki for 239 odd episodes so far, shouldn't they already have a pretty clear understanding of him? Well, she doesn't seem adverse to that idea. But not unless he pays first. Still has the 200 million. Okay. I think you're using a noun as a verb. I don't think there's really room in there to move in. Is it really a good idea to have them all in such close proximity? Especially with how loud it gets, these walls don't seem like they'll be really too thick. At least there might be some edible food in one of the houses. So he's now going to meet the other... another one of his potential futures. It did seem as though he was quick to repair that one. This place might need a few more structural supports in place. And glass cuts in the eye, at least she might be out in hospital for a while, you don't have to worry about her. Her cooking. But would you really want to start damaging your property? I thought she'd be used to the cooking by at this point. You could tell there were sesame buns. It's your imagination. It's all that poison running through your veins. At least this might be a way out. Not entirely fixed from male contact. Welcome home. Finally, someone who even mentions the destruction. I guess splitting him into halves would help him see them all at once. I didn't know Gintoki liked origami that much. He'll just live in the wall. Don't get any ideas. He's not going to be able to... That was a fast dinner. She must have had it prepared. It's kind of hard to get a hot pot wrong. She'll have to spoon feed it to you. You don't have to... He's old enough to eat for himself. This is fucking stupid. Which end hurts more? Eat up, have seconds, or maybe even thirds. It's amazing that that fabric doesn't seem it to show any signs of puncture wounds. He's not going to come home to you, Hasegawa. I'm sorry. I'll just say feeding the strays outside. No one to turn down free food. Food. Please, no. So, if you want to see more of the sitcom that is Gintoki's life, be prepared for the worst. And if I was Gintoki, I'd have some words for the producer and director of this. How could they let something like this go ahead? At least we know that when everything does get revealed as what actually transpired, it's going to be monumentally stupid. But at least we know that the bit in the opening where the opening in the elevator, the ghosts of people Gintoki cares for, has actually become a story. All vying for his attention. If this isn't an advert for being almost entirely teetotal. Or at the very least, stay inside and drink at home. There's less opportunities to completely screw yourself. It's also good that Shinpachi left when he did, because can you imagine the scathing words he would have right now? But can we just appreciate how fast the contracts were signed up for getting them moved into this new place? That's some speedy real estate. I mean, if you've ever tried to rent a flat or anything, it can be a bit of a pain. But what's going to give out first? Gintoki's will to live, or the other's seemingly inability to see each other, or realise what's going on? But if this is just one big ploy to teach Gintoki a lesson, do you think they're going a bit overboard? At least we have to appreciate that Gintama really does do the kind of normal story progression, storylines and tropes, but throws it off of a cliff. Well, and attaches several booster jets to it, make sure it gets into orbit first. Got to get to the height of absurdity before plummeting back to Earth. But it's not over yet, more Gintama on the way, so if by some chance you made it through this and actually enjoyed it, let me know down below. There is more coming up, and I would say grab a drink, but I think we've seen the dangers of that, so stay inside, get some rest, and hopefully by the time I see you for the next one, I won't have been married off. If you still have not learnt your lesson and want to buy me a drink, consider joining on to my Patreon. Because so far Sal, Raywin, Electrican, Darthia, Noku, Shiwan, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Mats, Russell Paulson, Gurley, Didn't97, ASD, Dark Show 7899 and everyone else have thrown caution to the wind and decided to just enjoy themselves. So really, thank you.